Please join me in welcoming Dr. Douglas Thomas.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder. Dean Solomon, distinguished faculty, parents, friends, and especially the class of 2016, congratulations. It's an honor and a privilege to be addressing you today. It's almost irresistible for me not to think back almost 30 years ago to the time when I was sitting where you're sitting. And if you had told me then that the world's largest taxi company would own no taxis, or that encyclopedias would be written by their readers, the world's largest bookstore would have no store, or that the largest hotel company in the world wouldn't own a single piece of property, I would have thought you were crazy. Then again, most of my life, people have said that about me. I've spent most of my adult life thinking about why people stay up late at night hacking networks and writing code, or gathering 24 of their guildmates to spend weeks or even months raiding virtual dungeons in places like Azeroth. And whenever my colleagues ask me why, usually with a very puzzled look on their face, like, why would you do that? I would always tell them, because that's where the interesting questions are. I've always been someone who thought it was more important to follow questions than it is to follow answers. But today, this is the world we live in, and it's the world you're about to enter. And a lot of what you know today as conventional wisdom, for a long time was neither conventional nor would have an easy time passing for wisdom. When I went to college, we weren't told to follow our passions or to go out and change the world. And to be honest, neither of those things seemed particularly likely or possible. But today, they are like never before. And you all are about to embark on a journey that is limited only by your imagination, your willingness to experiment, to continue to learn, and to, above all else, to play. When I look at your curriculum, whether it's in digital art or audio, game design, engineering, entrepreneurship, or business, you are all in the business of fun, and you've become experts at play. And I can think of no skill that is more relevant, more important, or more underappreciated. If your education has taught you anything, it's that fun is a lot more difficult than it looks. You know how incredibly easy it is to make something unfun. Bad games, bad films, bad businesses, bad art, they're all easy. Good things take work. You've learned about the struggle to keep people's attention. The lesson that fun things are never too easy, nor are they too hard. Fun is one of the trickiest things to create, and something that people will readily dismiss. But what you also know that others don't is that fun is worth its weight in gold. What you've really learned to do over the past 4 years is make magic. There's no greater gift that we can give others. That magic, fun, play, imagination, they're the essence of learning, and more importantly, the essence of happiness. In the world that you're entering, let me rephrase that. In the world that you are going to be creating, there's nothing more valuable and nothing more fulfilling than learning. And those who are able to open the door to new ways of learning, new ways of seeing, new ways of knowing, will be the leaders of the future in ways we cannot even imagine today. Part of my responsibility today is to try to give you some advice. In a world that's changing, it seems like every year, that's a tricky proposition. But I'll do my best. Most of the things that I'm going to say have, I think, always been true. But in today's world, I think they also have the benefit of being relevant. First and foremost, learn how to make other people better. For most of our life and most of our education, we're taught to excel. We're taught to focus on personal performance. And we're graded, assessed, evaluated based on how we perform. That used to be okay. But I believe that the time when a single person can really do truly great things, if it ever really existed, is gone. One of the things I do in my freshman seminar is to have each of my students start the class each week by talking about what someone else in their cohort did to make them better that week. And it's always a little tricky at first, because we aren't used to thinking that way, and we're not particularly comfortable talking about things that way. But what it does is it starts to create a culture where helping other people matters, where it's recognized, and more importantly, where it's valued. Sometimes it's as simple as getting somebody a cup of coffee late at night when they're working on a problem and they're tired. Other times it's brainstorming with them, or helping them with a problem they can't solve by themselves. What it is doesn't matter. What matters is the spirit of it. Sometimes it's the little things that can mean the most. When you go off to work in a team, if you're just 10% better than the rest of the people on your team, you might get some attention, and that might benefit you. And it might even make your product a little bit better. But if you're the kind of person that makes everybody on the team 10% better, then you're going to improve things in ways you can't even imagine. And if that culture takes hold, you'll find the sky is the limit on what it is you and your teammates can do. And the irony is, it's one of the few things that you can do by yourself alone. Just one person, any person can do it. So pay attention for opportunities to make the people around you better, small or large. Second, learn how to listen. And I mean really listen. To your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, to your customers. In my entire life, I have yet to meet a single person who does not appreciate being heard. When you listen to people, it is amazing what you will learn. It is also the key to making that first point work. How do you know how to make other people better? You listen to them. If you're really paying attention, they'll tell you. They'll show you. If you're listening to them and truly hearing them, opportunities will present themselves. That means you can't assume, you can't speculate, you can't guess. But if you're truly listening to people, you won't need to. Like anything else, listening is a skill. It takes practice. It's also something we're not trained to do. No one teaches us how to listen, but if you work on it, you will reap the benefits you can't even imagine. The third piece of advice I give you is to learn how to leave your ego at the door. I'm not telling you not to have an ego, and not to be proud of what you accomplish, or not to try to do the best that you can. What I'm saying is, when you work with others, learn to separate yourself from your ideas. Learn to accept criticism graciously, and learn to offer it gently. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll have great ideas that are rejected. You'll have bad ideas that are met with great enthusiasm. And the ones that bring the most success may appear to be the most average. I'm reminded of a story that a developer told me at a conference who worked for Rovio, a major game studio. And he was very annoyed because someone asked him what it was like to be such an overnight sensation with the game Angry Birds. And he said, "What are you talking about? That was our 50-second game." So the idea of having an ego investment, you're going to give up after 51, right? You'll never get to that 50-second game. The great thing about success is that it only takes one hit to make up for all the misses. You have to be willing to keep putting yourself in the position to succeed, which means knowing when to move on from bad ideas. But it's also hard to do that when you feel like you are your ideas. It's much easier if you can leave your ego at the door. Finally, I would invite you all to learn how to be happy. That's a lot harder than it sounds. So most of the advice people will give you, and most of what I've given you today, is advice about how to succeed. And success is easy. Go Google it. They'll tell you 3 things, right? Be smart, work hard, and don't give up. That's it. But success and happiness are completely different things. If you don't believe me, go ask anyone who is successful. Confusing them is a recipe for misery. If you spend all of your time chasing success, hoping it will bring you happiness, you'll find yourself doubly disappointed. Not only will you find that success doesn't make you happy, often you'll find that in your confusion, you've given up your happiness in order to achieve your success. My advice is start learning how to be happy now. Once you separate it from your success, you'll find it much easier of a task than you think. Find small things and enjoy them. Do something every day to make yourself happy. Take care of yourself. When you're happy, you'll find it's much easier to make the people around you better, more enjoyable to truly listen to them, and less difficult to leave your ego at the door. It will also make it much easier to enjoy your success when it comes. My charge to you, should I be permitted to offer one, is to take what you've learned over your years here and go out and make each other better, go change the world, and go make magic. In all your endeavors, I wish you all great success, but more than that, I truly hope that you all find your happiness. Thank you very much.